Alright everybody, this is part one of my little budget redneck restoration of this 95 F-150. Chickens are going crazy because I've been making a commotion, but the first, chapter of this project is getting the back refurbished, so I'm going to have to paint this whole frame, get all the rust off of it first. These rear leaf spring shackles are shot. That one's already broke, and this one's just about to break. They'll need replaced. This front tank should be replaced because it's leaking. I'm too lazy to do that. Since that one works, I'm just going to drop that one and call it a day. Shocks need replaced. And here's the bed. This was leaking at this seal here, so I'm doing a little minty flex seal on there. And then I ordered a new rubber hose for there, so hopefully that'll make it not leak. And yeah, that's what we got going for the first segment of the project here. Right now I don't have too much time to work on it, but I was doing that flex seal, and then I'm just taking this hammer and beating the crap out of the frame with it to knock off the big chunks of rust. You can see, like here, it's no huge flakes. There's flakes, but not huge ones. And here, there's these big pieces like this. You just go like this, beat those off. So I can do this without getting too dirty in a few minutes, and then I'll have to go. But I'll be doing more stuff in the next clip. Do a real quick tour of the truck just to show you what we're working on. So it's a 95 F-150 4x4 long bed. This is the bed here. It's this dark green color. The interior on it is in pretty good shape. Doesn't really need anything on the interior. It's a manual 4-wheel drive automatic transmission. 300 straight 6 motor in it. Locking hubs. It's got a little bit of body rust, but not absolutely terrible. I'll show you what the bed looks like. It's a little worse on the other side, but it's got a little bit of rust coming up onto the bed. It does have a tailgate. It's over there covered in stuff. And yeah, that's what we're working with here. It'll clean up real nice, I think, after I get all the work done. Alright, we're back for another update. We've made some progress. Got it jacked up all the way and took the wheels off. And replaced the shackles. I had a friend come out yesterday and help me do this. I had to grind the rivets off of the old ones and hammer it off and put the new one on. We did that on both sides. These front ones I think are fine. They're pretty rusty, but they still have quite a lot of meat left on them. And I hit them really hard with the hammer all over the place to see if they would break, and they didn't. So I'm gonna roll with them. These shocks here, I got the shocks off. They go there, and this is one. They were really hard to get off the bottom. The bolt was stuck in there. So what I had to do is cut them in half so that I'd have more room to wiggle them back and forth. Spray penetrating oil down through in here, and I also stick a screwdriver in there and hammered it in and wiggled it around to try and get more play. And then I held the shock with one hand and put a wrench on the bolt with the other hand, and tried to turn it and get it freed. It was basically, the bolt was rusted to this metal in here, and finally got it, and then after I got it, the bolt loose to where I could turn it with the wrench separately from the shock, then I was able to hammer it out. Here's what the bolts looks like. I got new bolts because they're beat from us hitting them with the hammer, but that was in there. And even now it's hard to push it in there because this part of it was rusted to inside of there, and it was up in there like that. So that was quite a bit harder. Took a lot more time than I thought it would to just take these shocks off. But now the only other thing I gotta do is drop this tank out of here because it leaks, and then I'll be ready to start going to town on it with the grinding wheel, and I'll get it cleaned up and painted. And after I get it all painted, I'll put the new shocks on, and I'll replace that sway bar link right there, and maybe a couple other little things I might find, but then it'll be ready pretty much for the bed to go back on. There, got the gas tank out. Just ripped those hoses off, and that connector, the bolts to hold the straps on were rusty, so I just cut the straps and it came right out. And I'll put a plastic bag over that and zip tied it, and I'll probably snug it up against the frame or like this or something. I'll leave that there. And then yeah, right now I'm just about to start wire wheeling this whole frame. Here's what the side I've done looks like. And this is the side I haven't done yet. So I'm really getting off all those scales of rust. And there's still a little bit of rust on there, of course, but that'll come off when I put the OSFO on it. All the wire brushing done. Now I'm putting on this OSFO to eat up that little bit of rust that's left. I just put it in a spray bottle and do it like this. You go through more of it that way, but it's a lot quicker to do it this way. And also, like down in there where all that stuff is that you can't really wire brush, you can spray just a ton of that in there and soak all that rust. So tomorrow this will be ready to paint. Got it all sprayed down now. It's already eating up the rust. You can see like right here, half of that's bare metal. It's eating all that rust off. The whole thing's soaked with it. I sprayed a ton of it on the whole frame, and on those spots on the bed there where it's rusty, I sprayed it too. So tomorrow I should be able to paint this black. Then I'll put the shocks on. I'm thinking about just going ahead and painting this bumper. I was gonna try and paint the bumper chrome. I was gonna try and paint it chrome, but the chrome paint hasn't come yet. I think it'll be a pain in the butt to try and tape it so that it don't get the chrome on the black trim. So I think I'm just gonna paint that bumper black along with the frame. And all those rusty spots on the bed, I'll paint black too. The wheels over there and the spare too, I have, it's not chrome, but it's shiny paint for wheels. I'm gonna paint them because they have some rust spots on them. And then I don't know if I'll get the bed put on tomorrow. Actually, I won't, because I need I need the bed bolts, and they won't be here till next week. So I'll have to wait till they get in to put the bed on. But I might get the tires and everything on so I can drive it out of here. And then I'll turn it around and start working on the front. Got it all painted up. Might throw one more coat on this bumper. But other than that, looks good now. I didn't paint the exhaust because I don't have high heat paint, but I reckon it'll be fine. Got her all put back together. Took her for a little spin. It's looking good. Rides really nice with the new shocks and the leaf spring mounts being on now. But I better go on home before I get arrested because I forgot to put the license plate on. And I don't have any taillights or rear turn signals, so I think that'll have to do it for part 1 here. And part 2, I'm gonna tear apart the front end, put some bushings on there, new shock tower on the other side, new shocks, and a 2-inch leveling kit. But for now, that's all. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.